Welcome to this week's look at the state of the New York City real estate market, where I take a look at the luxury market, the Manhattan market, and the Brooklyn market. I do it because I want you to be informed. It never hurts when you're a consumer to be informed. Welcome to this week's look at the state of the New York City real estate market. I look at the statistic for the week before. So this would mean April 18th to the 24th. This is a market that has been accelerating, moving kind of quickly. And so I'm trying to provide the most up-to-the-minute news, so you have that. If you're interested in this kind of thing, you can always subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you have questions, you can post them below. So let's get started. We're going to take a look, as I said, starting with the luxury market. There were 37 contracts signed last week. That is 4 fewer than the week before. Condos outsold co-ops 22-9. There were 6 townhouses in that mix. The biggest sale since April of last year was last week's number 1 sale. It was the 82nd floor at 432 Park Avenue. It was asking $79 million. It was reduced from $90 million when it was first listed back in August of 2020. A little history on this. In 2016, the seller purchased 2 units on the 82nd floor, purchased those from the sponsor, purchased those for almost $62 million, and combined them. Now the 82nd floor has 8,054 square feet. It includes 5 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, and 2 powder rooms. The unit has close to 13-foot ceilings and 10 by 10 windows that capture absolutely breathtaking 360-degree views. The monthly common charges and real estate taxes total, are you ready for this? $40,360 a month. Wow. Okay. It's also interesting to note that the buyers of this apartment already live in the building, and they are apparently unconcerned about the $125 million lawsuit that's been filed by the Condo board back in September 2021 against the developer for what they are calling structural defects that were reported on page 1 of the New York Times. Anyway, 432 Park is a pretty fabulous building, 96 stories high. It is concrete and glass, designed by Raphael Vanoli. It can be seen from literally almost anywhere in the 5 boroughs. The amenities include a fitness center, a 75-foot swimming pool, private dining room, parking, a garden, and a children's playroom. Wow. Okay, let's talk about the number 2 contract this last week. That was Pavilion A at 2 Park Place, otherwise known as the Woolworth Tower Condo. It is asking $23.355 million, and it was reduced from $33.35 million when it was listed way back in 2019. So this condo, this Woolworth Tower condo, is a duplex. It has 5 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, 2 powder rooms. It spans 6,711 square feet. The unit features a 53-foot great room with 22-foot ceilings, plus a rooftop terrace that totals 2,770 square feet. The amenities in the 34-unit building include a doorman fitness center, pool, wine room, and on-site parking. Okay, let's take a look at the statistics overview for last week. The total weekly asking price sales volume, 339,376,000. The average asking price was 9,172,324. The median asking price, 5,975,000. The average discount from original ask to last asking price is 11%. Now, if you've been watching these, that is a significant increase in the discount percentage. Usually we're seeing things like 4%, 5%. And I've also been reporting that really it's the bigger apartments, let's call them the luxury apartments, even the trophy apartments like this, the trophy properties, seem to have the least amount of negotiability. And yet here we are, at least in a 1-week period, with an 11% discount. What does that mean? We don't know. We're going to have to watch the market and see if this is a sign of things to come in terms of increased negotiability. Let's see what happens. The average days on the market, 715. Again, that's an uptick. We're seeing typically 500 and something days on the market. 715, that's a pretty big number. Let's see what happens. Okay, so that's our look at the luxury market for last week. Okay, now let's take a look at what happened in the Manhattan market-wide for last week. We are seeing an increase now in inventory, thank goodness. We are at the kind of the beginning of our busiest season, typically the spring season. So that is when we will see the most properties coming on the market. And last week, sure enough, our supply was up. We saw 534 properties come on the market. That is a weekly change of 37.28%, which is great. We really needed that with the bulk of the selling season, the spring season ahead of us. It's very good that we're seeing more inventory coming on the market. Now, that being said, we saw 313 contracts signed. That is down 0.32%. That's really not very much. And overall, what we're seeing is this high demand. So not sure that this number is necessarily an indicator of flattening demand, but we will have to see, especially given that we have the bulk of the market, this strong spring market ahead of us. Let's just see where this goes. But 313 contracts were signed last week. That's a nice number of contracts in 1 week. Let's see where it goes next week. We continue to be in a seller's market here, as it is, I'm sure, in most places. Again, we're going to have to see how the effect of more inventory impacts the prices and where the demand goes is also going to play a big role in this. So stay tuned and we'll see what happens next week. Okay, now we're going to shift over a borough and take a look at Brooklyn. The supply is up there too. 295 properties came on the market last week in Brooklyn. That's up almost 38%. The contracts signed were 206. Again, a healthy number of contracts signed. However, from the week before, that's down about 8.44%. We really still are in a seller's market across the board. Let's see, again, as with Manhattan, we're going to have to keep an eye on this inventory. If we begin to see more properties coming on the market, that will be a wonderful thing for buyers because we have plenty of buyers and they're getting a little frustrated because they're getting out. There's just not enough properties to go around. So we really do need more properties. So if you're thinking about selling, this is a really good time to do it. Our prices are pretty strong. Hard to imagine this is going to last for a very long time. We'll have to see what happens with the interest rates. But if you're thinking about selling, let's say in the next 3 to 6 months, you might want to think about moving up your timeline and getting on the market to take advantage of this very strong market. And buyers, don't be discouraged. It does look like the inventory is picking up. That will help a lot while you're out there searching. But as always, be prepared. I feel like such a Girl Scout when I say this. I guess it's back to my old days as a Girl Scout, but I can't say it enough. The more prepared you are, the better chance you will have to beat out any competition. Just make sure that you have your ducks in a row. And if you have any questions about what that means, ask me and I will be happy to go over it with you. Okay, that's it for this week's look at the state of the New York City real estate market. I will be back with more up-to-the-minute news on what is happening here in the real estate market. In the meantime, let me know if you have any questions, reach out to me, and